51 to 14 in that matchup. So it was a huge number, big separation. Wendell Comboy was at the head of that guard assault for Coach Olsen Racela.
Well, we all know that the FEU lineup is very guard heavy, but Wendell Comboy is the captain right now of the FEU ship, and this graduating guard is really expected to lead his team this year. He had a career game sizzling for 24 points, 9 out of 13 from the field, and 6 out of 9 from beyond the arc. But he's just one of the many guards, as I mentioned, who can light up their shooting from the outside, just with the likes of LJ Gonzalez, Hubert Canning, and even rookie Cyrus Torres. So very deep guard lineup for the FEU Tamaraw School.
All right, well, if just to add on to what Bea mentioned, the guy's averaging 16 points already in the last 2 games and 43% shooting in 2 games so far for FEU. That's almost double from last year, where he averaged 7.8 and 22% from the field. So you see, Wendell Comboy in his last year for FEU is laser focused.
Definitely.
For season 82 of the UAAP. And we welcome back, of course, Maris Domingo, who will report from the FEU side. Maris, go right ahead.
Yes, Women Bea, I am back, and so are the boys. Upon entering this game, they had roughly a week to prepare after their success in their last game against UE Red Warriors. There, we've seen Kim Baking, who posted a good defense for the team. Ino Comboy and LJ Gonzalez made news because of their numerous shooting points, which helped the team claim their first victory this season. Now, the green and gold players are now ready because of their matchup with one of their ultimate rivals for the previous years, the Ateneo Blue Eagles. Kanina nga natanong ko ang isa sa mga senior players na si Bartley Abonia. Sabi ko, Bartley, anong nararamdaman mo ngayon at makakatapat muli ang mga players sa iyong ikalimang taon? Sabi niya na pressure siya dahil isa nga siya sa tinuturing na kuya this season. Dinagdag pa niya na siya dito masusubok ang kanyang pagiging leader dahil nga sa pag-guide niya sa mga rookies. Now, the question is, will the Tamaraws be brave and strong enough to keep up with the flight of the Eagles? We'll find out in this game. Back to you, Bumen Bea.
Bartley Abonia, of course, is the only player left from that championship team that you saw. Coach Nash Racela was there right beside Coach Olsen Racela. That's right, siya na lang ang natitira dito sa lineup ng FEU. All right, let's talk about matchups, Bea. Who are you looking out for here?
Well, definitely I mentioned that FEU is guard heavy, but another battle that we will be looking at is the matchup between the power forwards, who also are very reliable with their mid-range game. I'm talking about William Navarro and Brandy Bienes. For William Navarro, he's a transferee from San Beda, playing on his 2nd year with Ateneo. He has shown that he has matured so much in the off-season, being a reliable power forward with his numbers up. He's averaging 8 points, 8 rebounds compared to last year's only 3 points and 3 rebounds. On the other hand, for Brandy Bienes, he will be forcing Navarro to extend his defense because he has that deadly shot from the outside. But more than his scoring, what FEU will be needing from him is his energy off the glass, as they will be going up against a very tall front line in the Ateneo Blue Eagles. 2
guys who are also, kumbaga, nakikinabang sa absence ng, kunwari, in the case of William Navarro, of course, it is Rafi Verano who's out, so siya'y nakikinabang. Nawala naman si Escoto dito sa FEU. So, as you mentioned, Bienes ang makikinabang dyan sa spot na yan. As you see the starting lineups for both teams. Oh, I'm interested in this Matt Nieto, LJ Gonzalez matchup also from a defensive standpoint.
Exactly. For the Ateneo Blue Eagles, they are still sticking to their same first 5. On the other hand, for the FEU Tamaraws, we still have LJ Gonzalez, Hubert Cani, Pat Chuente, Bienes, and Tuffin for them.
Let's also mention that Adrian Wong, who at the end, I believe, of that Adamson game, so I covered that game, and I remember him taking a 3, and that's where he kind of sprained his ankle. He rolled that ankle, and he was lifted out to back to the bench that last time out. We didn't see him anymore the next time Ateneo played, so he was warming up, and he is good to go as part of that starting unit for the defending champions, looking for championship number 3 in a row. While FEU, who has only missed the Final Four once in the last 10 years, and it's easy to forget them. It's easy to take them for granted. And again, nobody talked about them in the lead up of all the Final Four teams last year, Bea, let's just look at that. Everybody talked about Ateneo because they're the defending champions. Everybody talked about UP for obvious reasons, so the new players that came in. Adamson University had talk because of, you know, the Adamson players who from high school who went to them, and then their one and done player, and of course their import or foreign player. But for FEU, nobody talked about them, and it's but natural because they did lose 6 key players this year.
Exactly, almost their complete first 5. I'm talking about Tolentino, Orizo, Inigo, Escoto, Parker. But then again, FU always comes out ready. Coach Olsen Rosella with their heavy guard lineup, it makes them very unpredictable. And I think with them being under the radar, it gives them a little bit more of an advantage because other teams don't know what to expect from them.
Youth movement nga, di ba? Sabi ni Coach Olsen. Gonzalez against Navarro. Gonzalez, the sophomore, puts it up off to the left. And 30 tracks down the loose ball. Ateneo and FEU split their assignments in Season 81 of the UAAP. As Franny mentioned, one of 2 teams that beat Ateneo last year. And nothing yet here at the Mall of Asia Arena, where we just witnessed, you know, a shootout, especially in that final minutes of that UE DLSU game, whom you really didn't know who was going to win in that one.
Oh yeah, definitely. Now for Ateneo, with the forefront of their system being really defense, you can expect them to really load it up against the guards of FEU.
Gonzalez looks ahead. Splits through the defense. Comes up short. Counter-attack is foiled by Kani, and then they find Bienes underneath. And I think nailang dahil nakita niya Ange Kwame was there, could not get the ball up enough to get their first basket of the game. So almost 2 minutes gone by and nothing yet here. Tuffin looking. Chuente comes out. Taken away by Nieto. 3-on-3. Wong. Kwame underneath against Kani, and an early push by Kani just to make sure that Kwame doesn't get position on him.
Well, you can expect that this will be a low-scoring ball game between these 2 teams that are very defensive-oriented. Talking about the number 1 and number 2 best defensive teams out of Season 81.
Shot clock at 14 seconds.
William Navarro pops out. Nieto, Navarro. Wong comes out of the screen, backs up. Back to Wong with 3 to shoot at the 8-minute mark. Wong has to put it up, or Nieto will. Right at the horn. And our first bucket of the game.
And Mike Nieto making the first 3-point shot of the ball game. They actually made 10 3-point shots versus UST, which already doubled their output in their first 2 games.
They needed every single of that 3-point shot against UST, didn't they? Gonzalez sets up Bienes for the long ball. Rattles out, and Navarro comes away with the repossession. Nieto looks ahead. 7:27 remaining in our first quarter. Navarro gets the screen, the roadblock from Kwame, then navigates through. Chuente was there to bother. Kwame is trying to clean up. Dribbles out of trouble. 10 seconds on the shot clock. Wong against Kani. Wong with a little shove to make some space for himself.
And talk about the second chance points for the Ateneo Blue Eagles. They're actually at 20 offensive rebounds per game compared to the only 12 of FEU. So talk about gang rebounding for the front line of FEU to be able to gain more possessions in this ball game.
The 3-point shooting has to be on for FEU today, especially with Kwame just clogging down that lane. Sometimes you don't see the subtleties in the game. Like in that play, pwede nang tumira si Tuffin, but he had to kick it out because Ange Kwame was
just bothered really by his outstretched arms.
Gonzalez, that's another move.
Yeah.
That normally, whether he was in high school or maybe last year, if Kwame wasn't around, would go straight to the hole and take it strong.
But great weak side defense also there by third year Ravenna, intercepting the pass that LJ Gonzalez wanted to put out to Ken Tuffin.
5-0. 12 on the 24 and a traveling infraction again forced by the pressure of the former Rookie of the Year.
And so far, you see really the front line of Ateneo really extending high, pressuring all the on-ball guards and big men of FEU.
Coach Olsen's hand is forced here. He's already going to try to get Comboy back into this game, or actually into this game for the very first time.
And so far for third year Avena, having missed his first 2 3-point attempts compared to USD, he actually made his first 2 3-point attempts.
Nothing will move out. Comboy will come in. As I mentioned, averaging 16 points and 43% shooting so far in the 2 games. They averaged 7.8 last year and 22.7 field goals percentage though. So looking to be the man for FEU.
And also the spark plug off the bench,
Correct.
which is why he was made the 6th man for the FEU Tamaraws and Coach Olsen Ercela.
In and out for William Navarro. Cani goes to his right. Close out by Navarro. Here comes Comboy against 30. Dribble drive, a kick out to Cani, and again pressure from Wong. Pressure from 30. Denying entry. 30. On the other side would draw the foul. It will take 2 free throws. FEU just having a miserable time against the Ateneo defense.
But really the system and the energy of Ateneo really starts with their defense. Just great individual defense. The help side is on point and on time.
And I think that's what made that UST Ateneo battle even better. If you watched it closely, you saw how individually, defensively, UST was on point. And then defensively, from a team standpoint, you see that they were also on the ball, as you saw. Kiefer Ravenna back in town.
Exactly, and to your point, both teams, it could have gone either way.
Correct, yeah.
It was just a 1-point ball game for Ateneo, but a big and great learning for them as well.
A 7-0 start here for the defending champions. Watching the UAAP Season 82, also of course on sports.abs-cbn.com/livestream/UAAP and on iWant. Happy to have you with us on this Saturday afternoon as FEU has not found the bucket so far. 7-0. And Cyrus Torres is now in the ballgame for the very first time. The cut by Comboy and the turnover.
And despite the big 7-0 lead so far by Ateneo, they were actually even showing their own version of a full court press.
0 of 6 ang FEU so far. 30 wants to set it up to Ange. And Ange will go to the line.
And so far, nothing much that LJ Gonzalez could do but just foul Kwame hard on that play. And here you take a look at the turnover story early in the ball game. 4 turnovers already for FEU, and credit that as well to the very pesky on-ball defense of Ateneo Blue Eagles.
Royce Alforque now come in. Former Slam Rising Star in the ball game for Coach Olsen Racela. Barkley Ebonia. Pachuente. Cyrus Torres. And Ino Comboy, the 5 for Olsen. Trying to look for their first field goal as we are approaching the Gatorade hydration checkpoint, or our halfway mark here in the first quarter, and another turnover, Bea.
Exactly, and actually they're able to break the 2-2-1 full court press of Ateneo, but it's their interior passing, trying to get it into Pat Chuente's hands, wherein he fumbles the pass.
Nakasona itong FEU right now. Navarro sets up the roadblock. 30 rotates. 30 fakes left, drives right, and then sets up Ange Kwame for a tough under goal stab for a Yamaha Mio #1 move.
Pat Chuente was there, but really just Ange Kwame and getting a steal.
9-0. Wong, Kwame. Ravenna pulls out. Navarro trying to draw the foul. None given, uses the left hand, and it's now an 11-0 start for the defending champions here at the Mall of Asia Arena after the Jollibee 100%, the amazing move of the quarter.
And so far, just everything going in the way for the Ateneo Blue Eagles on both ends of the floor. Talk about William Navarro, one of the most improved players of Ateneo this season. He averaged only 3 points and 3 rebounds last season. As you see the first 3-point shot of FEU, they're now on the board, Boo.
First field goal over 6 minutes gone by here in the first quarter. You know what, the scary thing, and tell me if you agree here, Bea, with this observation. Ateneo won narrowly the last time against UST. And if you've been around, I guess, Coach Tab Baldwin, you might consider that a loss to him. So I say that in the sense that your next game is like you're coming off a loss. To them, they weren't sharp enough by his standards. The things that had to be worked still going into the game. So if you're the next opponent, you parang yun ang iaasahan mo that
they want to start extra strong, and I understand that point because in every game going up against Ateneo Blue Eagles, all the teams will bring their A game just because that Ateneo is the team to beat, the back-to-back champions. And it was a good test for Ateneo going up against UST as we take a TV timeout.
They're looking sharp right now here early in the first. 11-3 is our score. Back inside the Mall of Asia Arena where we are down to 2:53 in our first quarter. 11-3 is the start for Ateneo and FEU. Cyrus Torres was the one who broke the scoreboard for FEU. If you look at Ange Kwame, the numbers look look little, but his effect on the game, regardless of whether it was the UST game or any other game, is huge.
Exactly. Actually, in that USD game, he did have a slow start. Only 2 points in the first 3 quarters, and Chabio even outscored him 23 points in the first 3 quarters. However, in the fourth, when it mattered the most, this is when he really imposed his inside presence and making those 9 straight points in the fourth to still emerge with a double-double.
There, he blocked Pachuente, and then on the second opportunity, Chuente drew the foul.
Number 34,
Clearly seen here in a McDonald's
And the
instant replay.
foul
Clean up
for
top,
the Blue
then the
Eagles.
second move.
Talk about the big shoes to fill for Pachuente versus the former reinforcement of FEU in Prince Orizu.
And the missed free throw keeps us at 11-3. 2:26 to play here in the first quarter. Doesn't get the roll on the second.
And now FEU with their own 2-2-1 full court press. Easily broken by Ateneo.
Mamuyak in the ball game. Tio in the ball game. And Mike Nieto in the game for the white and blue. Tio misses the 3. Another opportunity here for FEU. Comboy against Mamu. Comboy gets the roadblock. And again, Kwame with a closeout. Kwame keeps it in play, and Nieto takes advantage.
Nieto.
C2 fast break of the game. Not only was he able to close out, block, he kept the ball inbounds.
And once again, Ange Kwame really doing it on both ends of the floor. He's #1 in the league in blocks, 5 blocks in an average per game. So far, he already has 2 for him.
Look at that defense. Stifling would be the word. 3-on-1 on the other end. And Nieto is fouled. Ooh, and Alforque drops to the floor badly as both of them pick each other up. Mid-air collision.
Pushing foul on
Now look at this.
31,
The block first on the three-point attempt, and then tiptoes and keeps it in play. And Nieto says goodbye. And in this sequence, Alforque controlled his momentum.
Substitution for the timeout.
Both of them okay.
You just really love the hustle and aggressiveness in the big man in Ange Kwame. It's really a prized possession for Coach Tab Baldwin. As he takes the seat and it's placed for him with the Isaac go.
Biggest lead of the game at 14-3 right now. Ateneo 3-0, FEU 1-1. Can't believe it's only been 2 weekends.
Exactly, only the 5th game day and we've already
And we
had
had so many storylines,
overtimes, game winners.
highlights. And we saw this coming when you saw the lineups of these teams, including the UE lineup, with those veteran one-and-done winners in their own leagues.
And I think it actually makes this league
Oh.
even more exciting just because the schedule is more compressed.
Oh, that too, yeah.
Less time to prepare and to recover as well for the next games.
Very good point. Isaac Goa is back in the ball game, actually in the ball game for the very first time. A steal, knocks down the second triple for Ateneo so far. As a team, they're not a great shooting team from beyond the arc, are they, Bea?
Exactly, they're actually only averaging 20% from beyond the arc. Again, as I mentioned, they made 10 in the last game. So far, 2 3-points made as well.
Good move.
Basket is good for Kevin Ebonia.
And that is a move, and that is the kind of play that you'd
Foul on
expect
number 23,
for
Will
this
Navarro.
graduating Barkley Ebonia. First
Substitution
steal
for the timeout.
for the
Substitution for the Blue
three
Eagles.
to get it to 18-3. And then Ebonia recovering here, makes some space for himself, and gets a 2+1 special.
Ebonia, it was actually partially deflected, but he was still able to gather his feet and make that end one play. Again, the seniors, him, Tani, and Comboy need to be able to lead their team to rally back this current 12-point deficit versus Ateneo.
Yeah, I'd like to see him a little more offensive-minded, talking about Ebonia, veterano na. You know, a strong guy, unfazed. Go kicks it out to the open man, and that is Nieto for 3. Gonzalez with 5 seconds left here in the first quarter. Gonzalez sidesteps, doesn't get it to roll in. That would have been better for them to cut the lead down to 10, but it is an 18-6 first quarter for the defending champions live here on SNA.
Ladies and gentlemen,
We begin the second quarter with apparently the biggest margin of any team in the 5 days that we played so far in UAAP Season 82. The second to this one would be the Ateneo Adamson game with 10-point deficit. Ateneo UST game, and that was another 10-point deficit. Right now it is at 12, and it stays there after that missed.
And once again, this current 12-point lead of Ateneo is backed up by their staggering defense, unable for FEU to be able to attack the shaded area. Actually, in terms of inside points, in the first quarter, FEU only had 2 points.
Kani is coming back. Another guy who is played with Ateneo back in the day. And new Bullpup, of course. Now graduating.
But so far, a good stop there by FEU, forcing Matthew Daves to a traveling violation.
Kani has Mike Nieto on him, looking for the screen. None coming, so he says he'll create his own shot. Bad idea against that Ateneo defense. Mamu, nagmamadali, kicks it out. Tinapik, goal recovering. 12 on the shot clock. FEU taking it away, 3-on-2 on the counter attack, and Gonzalez gets the ball to roll out.
Ayaw pa din
Ayaw pa
since
din.
the first quarter. But then again, you like the increase in the aggressiveness of the FEU Townhouse, led of course by their guard lineup in LJ Gonzalez, Wendell Comboy, and Hubert Cani. Their 3 main gunners to hopefully be able to propel a run to cut this lead down.
Desperately trying to look for any kind of rhythm. They also need all the points that they can get, and right now they have missed some free throws. Chuente missed a couple earlier, and this time second-year player LJ Gonzalez 1 out of 2 in this trip.
So far for FEU, 2 out of 5 from the free throw line.
Mark Molina, Richie Tixon on the FEU side of things.
FEU again sticking to that zone. Rather going back to man here in this possession.
5 on the shot clock. Gonzalez tries to break up the play. Mamu recovers. 2, 1, go for 3. No. FEU dodging another bullet there. Gonzalez, bounce pass to Ebonia, kicks it out to Ino Comboy for 3, still no go.
But you like the extra passing that FEU had in that possession. Earlier, they were doing a lot of one-on-one plays.
Tio, Nieto, 10 to shoot for the white and blue. Mamu with 6. Mamu will attack, escapes Comboy, and kisses it off the glass for a 20-7 count after that. What a flakes, kakaibang move.
And talk about Gian Mamuyak. He's always been known as the perennial defender of the Ateneo Blue Eagles, but this year has really been more aggressive, attacking the basket and even developed that outside shot for him.
Fake by Gonzalez. Recovery by Go. Bienes is open for 3. In and out. Ebonia hustles for the repossession. Cani. Gonzalez for 3. Finally a shot.
LJ Gonzalez.
And a PS Bankable assist of the game from Cani. Parang PS Bank personal loan na maasahan. Apply online, no collateral.
And that's a second outside shot after Cyrus Torres' first three-point shot in the first quarter to cut the lead down to 10 points.
Biggest lead was at 15 earlier at 18-3. Tio will try again to get it back. No. All this without Ange Kwame, of course, in that Ateneo lineup. Gonzalez. Cani breaks down the defense, draws the foul, no count.
So basket.
Referees Michael Tolentino, Julius Medillo, and Ruben Agbalo for today.
Pushing foul on
And
number
so far
7,
with
Mike
Ange
Neto.
Kwame sitting out so far, you see that the FEU guards are a lot more aggressive in attacking the paint, and that's how Hubert Cani was set up for that corner three-point shot.
And also, obviously, as we see Celso come in here for FEU for the very first time. Yeah, if you're FEU and you've got Ange Kwame, it's not that you can cheat on defense individually, but kung maiwanan ka, you still have confidence that there's somebody who's going to delay that offense for you to get back at least a split second
Yes, exactly.
faster, di ba? Again, those little intricacies of the game that guys like him bring to the table for Ange Kwame. Para siyang may may chain reaction sa opensa at depensa mo, no?
And this is the perfect time for FEU to mount a run with him on the bench.
Right now it's down to 10. Has 30. And Adrian Wong getting ready to come back. Stockton. Inside. And again, tutok na, lumabas pa para kay Celso. The missed opportunities here for FEU while Kwame is not around. Go will take the 3. Will not make the 3, but the tap goes to Belangel. And then Stockton recovers and a foul by Isaac Go on the breakaway. (20-10) is our score with 6:13 remaining here in the first half.
Substitution for the Blue Eagles.
Wong will be
for the
back,
Camarals.
Ravena will be back, and more bad news for Coach Olsen as Ange Kwame will come back into this game.
So far, the Ateneo Blue Eagles jacking up a lot of threes, already 13 attempts from beyond the arc, and we're only in the halfway portion of the second quarter.
Cyrus Torres will trigger. Coming up the 6-minute mark. Stockton against 30. Cani pops out with 8 to shoot. Cani goes to his right. Cani will drive. And will pick up 2 free throws after that strong drive against Adrian Wong.
Blocking foul on number 3, Adrian Wong.
We got a timeout here, and
Timeout.
Coach Dap Baldwin is the one who's
University.
going to call it. Be back after these. This is the UAAP on SNA. BDO coaches winning ways. Coach Tab Baldwin, 3 straight finals appearances, 2 championships, going for a 3-peat. Called that last time out. Probably didn't like the breakdown, the defensive breakdown, the last couple of sequences, which has cut their biggest lead from 15 down to 10. An opportunity again from the free throw line. This time it is Hubert Cani.
And it's actually Hubert Cani's first time to go
this year.
To go to the free throw line in this season. 82 makes his first.
I see.
Hubert Cani, one of the 3 graduating players for the FEU Tamaraws, together with Ebonia and Wendell Comboy.
Yeah. And another missed free throw, Bea. So that's 4 free throws missed
16 seconds
by
to
FEU, which could have cut this lead. It's down to 9.
Exactly, 3 out of 7 for only 42%. And free throws is something that you practice. It's just practice, practice, practice.
Belangel underneath. Missed by Daves.
Missed point back shot there by Matthew Daves.
There's a foul.
Ange Kwame called for that foul, pushing Ebonia.
And that's why I feel Ebonia has to be a little more aggressive, whether it's in terms of his shooting or just his movement.
Exactly, and as you see here, he's actually calling all his teammates for a huddle, and this is the kind of leadership that Ebonia needs.
Although medyo nagbuckle dun yung kanang, yung right ankle, I believe, si Pachuente. Trying to shake it off. 20-11 is our score. So free throws will be given, as both teams now are struggling from the floor. Both of them shooting 1 out of 6 here in the second quarter.
A very slow second quarter for both teams. For Ateneo, scoring only 2 points so far. FEU 6 points.
Wanya with the second opportunity now. 2 for 2.
Substitution for the Tamaraws.
4 of 8, 50% from the free throw line para dito sa FEU. They are inching closer in this game. This is the closest they've gotten since they were down by 15.
And with their 2-1 full court press, it's not really to steal the ball, but rather just to delay the offense that Ateneo start trying to orchestrate.
6 on the shot clock. Ravenna puts on the brakes, kicks it out to Belangel for 3. No.
That was actually a great setup job for Belangel.
As we get into our Gatorade hydration checkpoint. Kani with a floater. No. The tap goes.
Foul
I think
there on
Ebonia,
Ebonia.
he knows it. He hung on. He hung on there to Magdenburg.
Holding foul on number 8, Kevin Ebonia. That's his first foul.
They've had some good looks talking about FEU, even in the first quarter, di ba? Marami sila mga tutok na tira na hindi lang maipasok.
That's right, and you like so far that they're really attacking the defense of Ateneo every time that Ange Kwame sits on the bench.
Under 5 now, and a chance here for FEU. Gotta lock it down defensively. Belangel asks for it back. Feels he's got the mismatch here, but great closeout there by Celso. 30 with an athletic putback. Comes up short. 30 thought about the 3. Breaks the ankles. 3 to shoot for Belangel. Comes up short. The tap and the repossession finally goes to Barkley Ebonia.
And credit that to the great defense of the FEU Tamaraws, really locking it in the second quarter. Only 2 points for Ateneo.
Ebonia will force this one. Tries to get it back. Belangel takes it away. SJ to the driving Wong. Ebonia was there, but Dave's able to kiss it off the glass. Our Manulife Vision player of the game.
And a great setup job there by Wong, attracting 3 FEU defenders before dropping it down to Matthew Daves.
Stockton thought about the 3. Drives. Drops it to Ebonia, but broken up by Magdenburg.
The pass was a little bit too low from Stockton.
Now Ebonya's on the floor. Man, he has been working
Personal
hard.
foul
Look
on
at him
number 8, Kevin Abonya.
breathe.
Substitutions for the
That's
timeout.
the second personal foul that they're going to call on Barkley Bonya. He has to work hard there. There's nobody else there in the middle for them. He's going to go to the bench first. Stockton will join him. Kani will join him. It's Celso, Yenes, Torres, Gonzalez, and Comboy para sa koponan ni Coach Olsen Rosella. 22-13. William Navarro back in the game. Delangel. Wong with 7 on the 24. The show by Bienes. The drop to Magdeburg comes up long. Gonzalez looks left and right. 3-minute mark of our first half. Gonzalez drops it off, and 30 says no entry. Wong thought about it. They go down to Patrick. A cut by Ravenna and a foul by Gonzalez, I believe, on William Navarro, who was also trying to make a cut, and that will be his second too.
And so far, you notice that FEU is switching up on all the picks of Ateneo, given that Anshcam is on the bench.
2:46 remaining and another timeout called on the floor. We'll be back. Back inside the Mall of Asia Arena, where FEU is still chasing the defending champions here. They were down 15 earlier at 18-3. 20-13 is our score now. LJ Gonzalez, of course, inherits this team. I know Comboy is still there, but this is the future. They're investing a lot on this kid.
Exactly, Boom. Former juniors champion and former finals MVP from
right.
the baby Tamaraws. He's expected to assume the backcourt leadership for FEU along with Kani and Comboy, given the departure of Inigo and Barker last year. And so far, he's been stuffing the stat sheet.
Yeah.
He had 14 points, 8 rebounds, 8 assists, and 3 steals in their last game.
And that really is his game, no?
Exactly.
I mean, even in the juniors, even in that finals where he became the MVP, he averaged almost 10 points, almost 7 rebounds, and almost 9 assists in that series in the finals. So it's really his game to be all around, and we're excited for Coach Olsen Rosella. But in the meantime, right now, he's got 2 personal fouls, so they're gonna sit him down first as Alforque gets the assist from Wendell Comboy. Jollibee 100%, the amazing move of the quarter. 2 minutes to play and a 7-point deficit for the FEU Tamaraws.
That was a great trail there by the rookie Alforque for his first 2 points of the ball game, cutting it down to 7 points.
Celso with a good closeout. 3 by Nieto is way short. It lands on the hands of Magdeburg.
And once again in the second quarter, still Ateneo struggling to find their stroke, whether it's inside or out, as you see here, Comboy passing it to the trailing Alforque.
2 shots for Magdeburg.
Now free throws will be given. Magdenburg, this is the first one. I don't think he...
And this actually just may be the lowest scoring output for both teams so far this season. Ateneo with 4 points in this quarter, FEU with 7.
Down and dirty. These two teams are.
And as
that's how they wanted it.
we mentioned that it would be a low-scoring ball game.
All right.
These two teams are defensive-oriented, and this is what we're getting so far.
Out. Torres. Ravenna. Celso. Homeboy with 10 to shoot. And got tangled. Celso will be called for the offensive foul here, as Nieto sold that one real well.
Number 5, Daniel Celso.
Exactly, got tangled up with the arm
For the
of Matt Nieto.
Donald's instant replay. Let's look at that again. Oh, that's so hard to call. But obviously, Celso had that arm. And Nieto, the veteran that he is, will really draw attention to the move.
And talk about the dismal shooting so far for either teams. 24% for Ateneo, 16% for FEU. Unable to find their mark yet so far.
Oh, Magdenburg using the left hand to clear some space. 8-point deficit with 63 seconds remaining in the first half. As awful as the shooting of FEU has been, and then the turnovers too, but back-to-back offensive fouls. They're lucky they're only down 8 here, Bea.
Substitution for the Blue Eagles.
Talk about the perfect timing dapat for FEU to be able to get back into this ball game here in the second quarter. However, both teams, Ateneo and FEU, are struggling with their shots, and it's not just from the perimeter range or the three-point range, even inside and out. Unable to score.
Navarro looking for Wong. Torres. Ravenna. 12. He waves off Adrian Wong. Triple team on 30-30. Still able to get the shot off. Navarro again with second opportunities, but Tuffin takes it away from him. Alforque. Tuffin. Quick release on the three. That's off to the left. With 26 remaining here in the first half.
May have been a shot too early in their 24-second shot clock.
Ravenna has the mismatch. 3 seconds difference in between clocks. Ravenna looks at the clock and it reads 2. So he'll step back for 3 and come up short.
And that's actually the second straight
Shot clock violation.
air ball three-point shot attempted by Ateneo Blue
Substitution
Eagles.
for the timeout.
4 field goals made, 11 turnovers. For the first half for FEU, 4 field goals and 11 turnovers, Bea.
And exactly, to think that FEU actually averages only 13 turnovers per game. They're actually close to that, and it's only been the first half.
But with all of that, they're only down 8 in the game. And I'm going to ask Bea Diaz, why is that? What's keeping them at least in this game? 23-15 at the end of the first half when we talk to Bea at halftime later. Back inside the Mall of Asia Arena, we're at the half and we are minutes away from the third quarter of this UAAP Season 82 matchup between the defending champions Ateneo and the FEU Tamaraos. And yes, as I mentioned, we are at the half at 23-15. And I did say before we took the break, we're going to ask Bea Diaz, why are we at a low-scoring game? Why is Ateneo not pulling away also despite the poor shooting of FEU? Why are we here at this moment?
Well, Boom, it's really been a slow, grinded out type of ball game. In the first quarter, Ateneo started out strong. They had an 18-6 first quarter, locking down on their defense, forcing 7 turnovers for the FEU Tamaraos. But here in the second quarter, this is when the pace really slowed down. Ateneo scored only 5 points, and actually, surprisingly, FEU outscored them 9-5, and this is why they are still in the ball game. It's only an 8-point deficit for the FEU Tamaraws. But so far, you can attribute that to the good defense of both teams. But I think more than that, it's just their dismal shooting so far. We've seen balls going in and out of the rim. We've seen some shots really not hitting the rim. And as we see here, so sometimes you have those games. As players, you have bad days off. But so far, so good for the two teams, given that they still have the second half to bounce back. As you see here in the field goal percentage, just 22% for Ateneo, 15% for the FEU Tamaraws. In the rebounding department, we mentioned earlier that FEU has to be able to lock down on their rebounds, given that Ateneo is a very good rebounding team. But so far, parity at this level. But the turnovers, 11 turnovers for FEU, and they average 13 only per game. So this is something they need to address coming into the second half.
So basically, Coach Olsen Rosella is fuming that they're turning the ball over and they're getting blown out at the start of the game. Coach Tab Baldwin is fuming that they're not able to take advantage of this ugly situation so far. And, you know, Bea, you're right. There are games that are like these, and this is where coaches are paid the big bucks.
Exactly.
You have to win even the ugly games. As we welcome you back to our broadcast, and we welcome back Maris Domingo from the side of FEU to explain what happened at halftime from the Tamaraws side of things. Go ahead, Maris.
Well, Boom and Bea, before the game, Coach Olsen reminded the team to think of this game not just as a challenge, but also as a blessing. And speaking of blessing, LJ Gonzalez had his Achilles aching for quite some time now. Nagsimula to after ng game ng UP. At kanina tinanong ko siya kung kamusta na ito. Sabi naman niya, the pain is tolerable. Now that is a blessing, since he could play, especially now that we need to bounce back and step up. Pinanindigan din ni Barkley Abonia ang kanyang pagiging kuya, lalo na kanina sa huddle during timeout. Tinuturuan niya ang mga players kung anong gagawin sa kanilang depensa. Pero it was not enough. Kanina, galit na galit si Coach Olsen during the second game. Sabi niya, ano na, ayusin naman natin. We cannot go and think of the next game kung laging may mistake. Now, the Tamaraws are thriving to get a point. So, what kind of blessing do they need to stop thriving? Your thoughts, Boom and Bea?
All right, well, maaga pa naman, as we mentioned, the Coach Olsen Rosella was fuming. We expected it, and that's what happened. Pero para nga sa fans ng FEU Tamaraws, this is only the first half. And, as we always say, you can't win a ball game in the first half. Now, it would be interesting also to find out the thoughts of Coach Tab Baldwin. So, let's bring back Franny Reyes here to tell us what happened there at halftime as her team is up by 8. Franny, go ahead.
Everyone who goes in plays D, so don't let up on D. That's what Coach Sandy Arespacochaga told the guys. And the Blue Eagles have been efficient in limiting FEU's field goals, but their energy on offense doesn't match their energy on defense. In that first half, they only shot 2 of 17 from the three-point line. And, shooting, that has been their story and their problem since the first game. And I know you guys mentioned that today would be a low-scoring game, but they could have taken advantage of it. But they're not executing their shots. So they have to turn up the aggressiveness, get those points in, attack the rim, and shoot with confidence. Back to you guys.
Thank you very much, Franny. At yun na yung sinabi natin just as we started this halftime report that Coach Tab, I'm sure, was fuming at the fact that they were not able to take advantage of this slow FEU start so far. But this is all now in the first half. Second half begins, and it's an 8-point deficit for the FEU Tamaraws, 23-15. Now, let's check out our Coho creating beautiful plays, all from that first half. Mamuyak came in the first quarter of the game and made this incursion against that FEU defense. What are you looking for here, Bea, in terms of individual, not in terms of effort, but is there anybody in danger of foul trouble? Is there anybody here who is not playing up to par so far?
On point, Boom, because I think for the FEU Tamaraws, the missing link so far has been their team captain, the graduating senior Wendell Comboy, after a career game, 24 points against the UE Red Warriors last Wednesday. So far, he's been scoreless, and so far he's actually only attempted 4 tries at the basket, so you want him to be a little bit more aggressive. You've seen the leadership so far of Barkley Abonia, so that has to be coupled also with the offensive prowess of Wendell Comboy to be able to get back into this ball game.
How about from the Ateneo side?
Well, for the Ateneo side, so far, as Franny mentioned a while ago, their defensive prowess is there. They're able to lock down their defense, prevent the shots of FEU, but they need more energy on the offensive end. Get those offensive rebounds, get those putbacks, as they're always known to be in terms of the Ateneo team.
We're also looking for Kwame to probably play more here in the second half. So we begin with a 25-15 count as 30 Ravenna was able to push that shot into the game, or into the bucket. And another turnover for FEU. This time, the 5-second infraction. Another giveaway by FEU, and that is the 12th giveaway already. A team that has averaged 13 so far after the 2 games here in UAAP Season 82.
And again, FEU going back to their zone defense against the Ateneo Blue Eagles.
Wong from the corner. Got it. 5-0 start here in the third quarter. Manual Live Vision player of the game. Remember, we started 11-0, if I'm not mistaken, in our game.
And talk about so far the extra passing of the Ateneo Blue Eagles, as on point Wendell Comboy makes his first three points rather in this ball game.
Gets it back. Check the lineups. Nieto, Navarro, Ravenna, Kwame, and Wong for Ateneo. It is Gonzalez, Ibonya, Comboy, Chuente, and Kani para naman sa FEU. Kwame, third opportunity. And you gotta be able to block him out first. I know easier said than done, but you cannot. It's already tough, Bea, to beat him in a jumping contest. Imagine if you still don't have the position on him.
Exactly, as you see here, the three-point shot
By Adrian
Wong. And this was made possible because Pat Chuente was trying to lock down on Kwame. He wasn't able to extend, going to the corner.
Pajibar Opar Sasaya.
And also one of the reasons why FEU was still in this game in the second quarter, the guy on the screen, Ange Kwame, only played 10 minutes in the first half, giving more playing time to the likes of Matthew Daves and Pat Magdenberg.
You're right. 30-18, so it's back to 12 here. Double team on LJ. LJ finds a way to escape.
Ball lost there on Wendell Comboy.
Yeah. Wong sees 3 green shirts ahead of him. Sets up Kwame. Kwame muscles his way for the 2, and it's back to 14.
And that was a great hesitation play by Adrian Wong.
A Yamaha Mio #1 move. Kani twirls. Comboy 3. Strong. Chuente trying to keep it in play, and it will stay with FEU.
And here you see the hesitation move of Adrian Wong, and then driving at 1 dribble more, then the drop pass to Ange Kwame.
You can say goodbye to that shot. And he's that deep and that loose.
Too easy.
Too easy. And he makes it even look easier, even if he's clobbered there by 2 players. Kani overshoots.
He's actually holding on to his left ankle when he went down.
Wong will release another 3, and he gets that one to go. And it's the biggest lead of the game now at 16, 34-18 after that shot and after the PS Bankable assist of the game. Bottom PS Bank personal loan na maasahan, apply online, no collateral. We'll be back. 35-18. Let's correct the score here. So it is 35-18.
So bumping off Franny's point earlier, talking about Ateneo wanting to come out more aggressive on the offensive end. They've outscored FEU 12-3 for their biggest margin so far.
And looking like the first quarter all over again. But this one's bigger. It's now a 17-point lead as Ateneo tightening up the screws on defense. Ebonia drives. Nice move. But the recovery by Ange Kwame to deny entry.
And once again, the inside presence of Ange Kwame, not just bothering the shots, but also the drives of the smaller guards of FEU.
Ravenna settles for a 16-footer. And nothing but the bottom of the net on that one. And they're pouring it on here in the third.
And that's the 6th point of 30 Ravenna. A balanced scoring so far across all the Ateneo players. No one yet in double digits.
McDonald's instant replay, the roadblock provided by Kwame. A lot of space to shoot for 30. This is strange for FEU as FEU coming off an explosive game against UE, diba?
Exactly.
First quarter points of Ateneo Bea was 18. Total points right now of FEU, as you see the score, is 18. Make that 20 now.
And finally, Cyrus Torres breaking the drought, the 5th point of the quarter for FEU.
After that, Boysen points in the paint. Remember the guard scoring in that FEU UE game, 51-14. Well, we didn't say that we were going to expect the same count against Ateneo, obviously, but we didn't expect them to really come out cold here.
And just like that, back-to-back baskets for 30 Ravenna.
Gonzalez is trapped. Oh, he gets away. Kicks it out to Torres for 3. Specialty of the house for Cyrus Torres.
And the rookie from the Baby Tamaras and also former Batang Gilas, Cyrus Torres. 5 straight points for him, putting up some life for the FEU Tamaraws.
So far, under 30% shooting for him personally in season 82.
And just like that,
UAAP.
Wendell Comboy even forcing a stop, forcing a turnover on 30 Ravenna as he is replaced now by Mike Nieto.
Gonzalez, Comboy, Chuente, Torres, back to LJ. LJ gets it back against Nieto. Great coverage by Navarro. Comboy, quick release. Everything but the shot for FEU. Tapigan ang bola and it will end up with Ateneo and Navarro looking to be fancy on that play.
And could have been an easy 2 points already, Boom.
Now you're up 16. I guess you are afforded 1 or 2 mistakes like that by Coach Tab Baldwin. SJ Belangel is back in the ball game.
But so far for the FEU Tamaraws, one of the difficulties for them in trying to attack the paint is that in every pick and roll, the defense of Ateneo is just switching on everyone. William Navarro is also guarding the smaller point guards of FEU.
And again, everybody covering for each other also when someone gets beat. And then it helps that you have that guy as the last line of defense. Ange Kwame again, making the defense the difference there in that play at the Gatorade hydration checkpoint. Kwame, why not?
And that's the first 3-point shot of Ange Kwame. I actually saw that during the UAAP 3x3 last season, and he's showing it once again here in UAAP season 82.
Domino's Pizza, what a delivery play. It is 42-23. BDO coaches winning ways. Coach Olsen Rosella not winning right now. Although, look at that. You know, he's got Eric Gonzalez, he's got Nash Rosella, he's got Denok Miranda, Mark Isip, some champion players from FEU. Boy, those two.
Yeah, exactly.
Right now, they need them here because they cannot produce
if they can
points.
Play, if
yeah.
they can only play.
They've only had 23 points.
And so far, despite the 19-point lead already of Ateneo, you still see their pressure all on ball defense. As you see, Ange Kwame on your screens, 9 points, 3 out of 5 from the field. His 3-point shot was actually his first made 3-point attempt so far in season 82.
Right.
Previously, he was 0 out of 3.
Yeah, 1 out of 4 right now, you know, as Bienes able to get it up and in. Need more of that, and they need stops. That is stating the obvious for FEU. Alforque on Belangel. Mamuyak. Back to Belangel. Approaching the 4-minute mark. Alforque trying to take it away. Kwame saves it with 3 seconds to shoot. Mamuyak fakes right, goes left. And a 24-second infraction called. A giveaway to FEU here by Ateneo.
And a good stop there by the FEU Tamaraos. As we see, checking in for the first time actually is Troy Malilin.
Now comebacking Ateneo player.
It's actually his first time to enter the court so far this season 82.
All right. You welcome him back to the UAAP here. Bienes, they rotate, and Mamuyak with that length, that anticipation, almost breaking up the play again.
And that was similar to what we saw versus CJ Cancino, as he was the marked man to defend the Spitfire guard in CJ last Wednesday versus
6.1
USC.
seconds on the shot clock, 6.1 seconds to shoot.
It's the first double-digit quarter of FEU as they hit 10 points.
Yes, it is actually.
Right.
6 points in the first, 9 in the second, 10 so far, and counting here in the third canto.
Ateneo is just suffocating FEU here into submission. Their defense, it's like 6 players playing right now for Coach Tab Baldwin on the floor. Belangel misses the floater, gets it back, fakes, gives it up. Malilin, and look at Kwame again.
And again, that was the third possession for the Ateneo Blue Eagles. Talk about the offensive rebounds.
And they've been doing it the last 3 games. Third, 4 possessions even. If you remember the games against UST, Adamson was killed also on second and third opportunities.
And sometimes if it's Kwame, you'll give a little bit of leeway, but the first offensive rebound was on the hands of SJ Belangel. No one out there to box him out.
42-25. A little lull here. They're reviewing something. I don't know what it is. So they're looking if they're going to upgrade to an unsportsmanlike foul. Now, okay, so that's what they were looking at earlier. A regular foul will be called. 43-25 with 3:07 remaining here in the third quarter. Earlier today, a thrilling game. UE versus DLSU. UE had leads of 15-16 in that game, and DLSU came storming back behind a Encho Serrano 3-point play, gets the lead, and then Suerte making the shot, gets the lead back. And then was it Melesio or Caraco to... Melesio was the one who got it back, right? And then you thought it was over there. And then Suerte comes up with the goods again at the end, and finally the win for the UE Red Warriors and for Coach Lawrence Tiongson, our active consultant.
Pero syempre, veterano nitong
Si Suerte.
Suerte.
Di lang maswerte, veterano na rin talaga.
Substitution for
That's
the
right.
Tamaraos.
He knows how to win. He's a gunner.
Former champion, the
Champion, yeah.
Safi League also.
MVP
An
rin.
MVP.
Right. So he was not afraid of the moment. He took it, grabbed it, and boy did he shine. And not just one, those are two
Big
sequences.
possessions.
In the meantime, speaking of big, a Jollibee 100%, the amazing move of the quarter, every bit of a three. That's what FEU needs. They're down 16 here, 44-28. Just to cap it off, ultimately, UE won that one 89-88 in the first game. Belangel fades away to the right, no. Now Kwame is on the bench. The lead is 16. Let's see if FEU fuels a run here. Yenes. Alforque has Malilin on him. Alforque gets the step. Tries to set up Ebonia. They kick it out to Bienes with 4 to shoot. Gets it to crawl up and in.
And a great decision there by Bienes to attack the defense, cutting the lead down to 14 points. It's now 5 straight points for FEU.
Lead is down to its lowest since it hit 19. Mamuyak saves it to Malilin. Belangel with 19, so a lot of time. Isaac goes, sets the screen. Belangel doesn't use it. Ebonia.
See there, Esri Belangel attacking the
Pushing foul
defense
on
of
number 8, Kevin
Ebonia,
Ebonia.
rather.
Substitution for
That
the
is
Capitals.
his first personal foul. Oh, sorry, check that. It was on Torres and he will be called for his first personal foul. Coach Olsen Rosella is
2 shots for SJ Belangel.
wondering why Belangel was given that call. But the call stays. And the Ateneo faithful are looking at a 14-point cushion so far.
So far, Coach Olsen Rosella also digging in deep in his bench,
Yeah,
putting
you're
in
right.
for the first time Joseph Nunag.
Substitution for the Capitals.
Kani is back for Ino Comboy. Just anyone who can get going, you know. Kani gets away. Nunag. Ten on the 24 for FEU. Kani. Taken away by Mamuyak. Mamuyak. Taken away by Kani.
But they're a
Oh, they're
foul
going to call a
call.
foul, yeah.
And once again, Gian Mamuyak playing the
Foul on
passing
number 18,
lanes.
Hubert
Great weak side
Kani.
defense there, intercepting the pass.
Substitution for the Blue Eagles.
He will go to the line for 2 free throws.
The recovery and their understanding of defensive space and covering that space when somebody gets beat is what you're seeing on display right now.
Every time they switch direction, you see a help side immediately, and you just talk about really the teamwork and the chemistry that this Ateneo team has. And for Gian Mamuyak, 3 points for him. Breakout season also in terms of scoring, averages 9 points per game, 4 rebounds,
violation.
3 steals, 3 assists rather, and 1 steal per game.
Really the details right now in the game that's killing FEU at this moment. And speaking of which, I remember that conversation I had with Coach Sandy Arespacochaga when TAP came in for the very first time in that year. They went to the finals and lost to LaSalle. He was saying how, to him, that was the biggest difference. He said that watching him coach, listening to him, it's no stone unturned. It's really the attention to detail.
And you see that perfectly in the way Ateneo executes their offense and the way they defend all the other teams, which is why they've always been the #1 defensive team for the past 2 seasons so far. But also here for the FEU Tamaraws, they are rebuilding in a sense. Just because 6 players have graduated. As you see, Nunag making his presence felt, his first 2 points of the ball game.
Like we said, they're looking for somebody to get going, and why not go deep into that bench?
And he may just be the spark plug that FEU needs at this point.
46-32 is the score. Biggest lead again, 19. That's good recovery by Bienes. Goal for 3. Right at the horn. Second opportunity again as Iponya draws the foul. And again, it is the repossessions that is killing FEU here. That is the 4th personal too of Iponya as you see Nunag shift to the left hand in midair.
Yeah,
That is
from
a fourth
New
foul
Zealand.
on Kevin Iponya.
Study din rin ng Kyoto College. You see SJ Balangel going to the line. That was his second offensive rebound, the smallest guy for Ateneo on the floor, still managing to get that second chance point.
Shooting 2, SJ Belangel.
And for me, Boom, there's no excuse in terms of rebounding. I think it's more about the aggressiveness and hard work, just locating your man and being able to box them out.
They average in the last 3 games 20 offensive rebounds.
Exactly.
20.
Compared to the only 12
Right.
of FEU.
It's 20 more possessions on a 52 rebound average. Talking about the defending champions. It's just too much. 20.
Just complete domination. And the possession ball game going always in the hands of the Ateneo Blue Eagles so far.
Mamuya got a little bit of a piece of that Nunag 3.
Substitution for the Tamaraws.
And it's not a simple explanation also, Bea, that it's just Angelo Kwame, because it's not all him who's getting all of these, who's inhaling these second opportunities.
Exactly. We were mentioning a while ago that maybe when he's on the bench, FEU can make
At
a
the
run,
end of
but
the
Ateneo is
first
still
quarter,
able
yeah.
to maintain the intensity of their defense.
47-32 is still the score here in the third. (47-32). It's a 15-point deficit staring FEU going into the payoff quarter. Boom Gonzalez, Bea Diaz, FEU and Ateneo for the first time in season 82. Biggest lead was 19. FEU has never led in this ball game because we started with an 11-0 first quarter.
And so far in the second quarter, after the lowest output for both teams in a quarter alone for season 82, they were able to pick up the scoring, pick up the pace in the third quarter. However, Ateneo still with a very commanding 15-point lead as we approach the fourth quarter.
LJ Gonzalez is back for FEU. Chuente also back. Almost a play broken. Could not finish as the defense collapsed. That's a perfect example of what we were talking about. Players getting beat, but the recovery of Ateneo there.
Outside.
Yeah. Snunag and Gonzalez, the backcourt with Tuffin and Kani. Chuente in the middle. Nice cut there.
And a great backdoor
athletic
play
finish,
there.
yeah.
By LJ Gonzalez. Pat Chuende, great pass by him. And I'm sure Pat Chuende will be someone that they would like to develop, where he has to be able to improve on his footwork, get more skills so far down low to be able to help the cause of FEU.
DJ Andrade is now in the ballgame for the very first time. Quick release pass by Isaac Go. Matthew Daves, who long on that shot. 47-34. Down to 9. FEU trying to break down that Ateneo defense with these drives. Chuente cannot make the bucket.
And so far, FEU has been doing a great job with that backcourt shot. You see there so far, the 3 heavily elated guards of FEU, Cani, Comboy, and Gonzalez, only 4 out of 19 from the field.
That is after outscoring the backcourt of UE 51-14 in the previous game, talking about FEU.
That's only 13 points so far for the 3 top guards of FEU. As Pat Chuente actually just scored his first point.
Short on the second as he backtracks right away after shooting. Comboy trying to break up the dribble of Ravenna. He recovers. Steal. Out to Ravenna. 30 underneath, trying to set up Matthew Daves. Coach staff shaking his head, while the FEU coaching staff looking for a traveling infraction. 47-35 here. Daves. Andrade had to shoot it, comes up short. A chance here to cut it to 10 or maybe even single digits. If they make a 3, Torres, again, he loves that shot. No foul called. Opportunity missed for FEU.
And that was actually the first miss of Flyer Stars from beyond the arc.
Andrade, nowhere to go. Daves finds steal. Escape dribble. Overshoots. And another second opportunity as Isaac Go just plucks that rebound out of the air.
And that's the 14th offensive rebound and the 9th second chance point for Ateneo Blue Eagles.
Toughen to Torres for another 3. Comes up short. Skying for the rebound. And the retrieval is 30 Ravenna. Back to 14 here. Go. Daves. Back to Andrade. 4 to shoot. 7-minute mark of our game. 30 has to release. Chuente finally gets that retrieval. LJ gets it back. Comboy attacks, sidesteps, and draws the foul from Isaac Go.
That was actually one of the few times that we've seen Wendell Comboy really try to attack the defense of Ateneo. A quiet night for him so far. 6 points, all from beyond the arc. To be his first trip to the free throw line. Prior to this game, averaging 16 points in his first 2 matchups.
32 points in the first 2 games, in total.
Had a 24-point explosion for his career high versus UE last Wednesday.
Misses 2 free throws.
And that has really been the story of today's game. 6 out of 13 from the free throw line for FEU.
Bleeding for points as you look at the rebound advantage. Ateneo 43-33.
And we mentioned about the tall front line of Ateneo coming into this ball game. The rebounding department, possession ball game, all going into the favor of the Ateneo Blue Eagles.
More bad news. Ange Kwame is getting set to come back here, and that's a foul by 30.
Pushing foul on number 0, 30 Ravenna. Substitution for the Tamarao.
6:08 remaining.
Substitution for the Blue Eagles.
Lunag is back in. And LJ will move out.
You actually see
Shot clock
Toffin
at 40
playing
seconds.
the power forward position. We usually see him as one of the guards.
Right.
A very short rotation so far here for FEU.
Oh, he gets the roll there.
Three.
That's a lot of time still, Bea. We got 6 minutes flat. 11-point lead for Ateneo. 49-38 is our score.
That was a 60-point shot of FEU and the first made basket for Ken Toffin to cut the lead down to 11. So slowly but surely, they're getting back into this ball game, as Ateneo so far has been missing their outside jump, outside shots, but once again,
3 opportunities to score.
exactly, their defense has been on point. They've been forcing Ateneo to take those outside shots, but once again, the second chance points for Ateneo.
It ain't a defensive stop without getting that ball. Lunag throws up a 3, gets it to go. So off the bench, he has scored 5. Pure Gold always panalo move. That's down to 10.
And we saw just in the screen, 16-6 for the offensive rebounds for Ateneo.
Gatorade hydration checkpoint now. And a 10-point deficit. 30 is fouled.
And a bailout foul called, as well as Ateneo looked a bit hesitant in their offensive set in this particular possession.
Pangatlo yan para kay Pat Chuente. James will move out. William Navarro comes in. Quick release here by Ken Toffin.
Like that back-to-back threes. Next up by Nunag.
Shot clock at 40 seconds.
And in between those 3-point shots was the follow-up tip by 30 Ravenna, which brings us to 51-41. Ange double team. Kicked out Andrade for the long ball. Again at the horn. Chance here for FEU. They're down 10. Torres will shoot a 3. No! They need that 3, Bea.
Could have cut it down to a single-digit ball game.
Nawalan ng pasensya, no? Doon sa opensa na yun. Kwame will try again. 2 for 2 today. Jollibee, 100% the amazing move of the quarter. Now that is just unfair.
And just scary also for all the other teams. Once he's able to master that outside shot again, he made his first 2 3-point baskets here in this particular ball game, going 0 out of 3 before this game. Boom.
Navarro makes it look easy with that stretch. And just like that, a 5-0 counter run to bring it 56-41. You're watching the UAAP right here on SNA. You know, last season, Ants Kwame had 14 attempts from the three-point area, knocked down 1. And today, he's got 2 back-to-back after missing his first 3 of season 81.
Just adding more arsenals to the skill set that he already has makes it more scary for this Ateneo squad with a commanding 15-point lead.
How about a turnaround fadeaway jumper in the second round? Wala na, tapos na.
Hands up na, hands
That's it. Game over. 5 to shoot. Comboy this time has to throw it up. No. And Kwame inhales that one.
And so for FEU falling in love with that outside shot, 4 straight possessions, 4 straight attempts from beyond the arc.
That's what it is. 12 rebounds for Ant Kwame, but a turnover there and a missed pass.
Bounce, he was trying to go for a bounce pass, but it went off the foot. And still Ateneo is imposing their full court press.
There was a little bit of momentum going on the FEU side, and they got it to 51-41.
They made back-to-back three-point
Right?
shots.
Nuna get tough in, and then Torres missed on the 3, and since then it is a 7-0 counter run to give it back or get it back to 17. A foul called on Adrian Wong. McDonald's instant replay catching this play broken up. Let's say goodbye to this one as 30 lays it up and in. All team. Our McDonald's instant replay. Last ditch stand here for FEU as LJ Gonzalez is back in the game. And another turnover.
And make that already the 16th turnover for the FEU Tamaraws.
At Nieto. William Navarro. Adrian Wong. And a foul away from the play.
That will be a foul called on Wendell Comboy.
Body language not looking good right now, Beatrice.
Oo, talagang bagsak ang katawan ng FEU, and this has been the case actually all throughout the game. I've been trying to see if there would be a spark plug here and there, but so far nothing really going for FEU.
Jason Credo comes off the bench.
40 seconds to shoot.
Playing in a second game here in season 82 of the UAAP, but has not had anything, whether it's points or rebounds or anything so far here in season 82. So he'll have 2 minutes here as Ateneo is looking at a 4-game winning streak to start off season 82 of the UAAP.
Off that Hubert Cani miss, he's also been very silent in this ball game. Only 1 point for him. And even from the free throw line, so no field goal yet for Hubert Cani.
We have a timeout. We will be back. Action continues tomorrow here at the Mall of Asia Arena. NU Bulldogs. 2 heartbreaks. 2 Ildefonso heartbreaks at that. Going up against the USD Growling Tigers, trying to bounce back from their loss against Ateneo. The Soaring Falcons and the Fighting Maroons
This
should be a
an
good one.
exciting
That's tomorrow here at the Mall of Asia Arena. How about that, right? For NU Bulldogs, yeah. David Ildefonso with supposedly a winning basket. Sean Ildefonso with supposedly a winning basket. All taken away in 2 games. I feel for those boys. But career games too for them.
For both of them.
Yep.
And a breakout season also for Sean Ildefonso. Really aggressive so far.
58-41 now. Ateneo looking to put the finishing touches here as we hit the PS Bank last 2 minutes. PS Bank pasin via mobile. Ang padala mo, cash agad in minutes.
And that was great touch passing by FEU, but even better defense by William Navarro, blocking Pat Chuente.
Nieto just pesky. I'm gonna review that because we are within the 2-minute mark.
But what a response by the Ateneo Blue Eagles after their dismal shooting in that second quarter. They were able to outscore the FEU Tamaraws in the third, 24-17.
Oh, we might see G12 come in for the very first time in season 82 of the
Exactly,
UAAP.
former Ateneo Blue Eaglet and also part of the Batangilas under 18.
Fresh, young, and very raw, and he will come in. And to the delight of the Ateneo fans here, so they now see both Jason Credo and G12.
And really, sky is the limit for the potential of this very young G12.
Tries to block the shot there of LJ. And they force a 24-second infraction on FEU. Are in danger of going 1 and 2. $1:49 remaining. Last year, Adamson and UP produced some classic games in those 2 matchups.
And it's also
last
the
year.
semis game
Right?
versus UAP.
Oh yeah, that too.
How can we forget?
Adamson finally getting the twice to beat advantage under coach Franz Pumaren, but losing 2 straight games to UP as they went to the finals. So there is a little bit of a revenge factor in that matchup tomorrow.
Definitely, as we see LJ Gonzalez and Wendell Comboy.
Sit down.
Now sit
Call
down.
it a day. Coach Olsen will not force the issue anymore. There's just, as Bea Diaz pointed out earlier, there are just days that you just can't get it going. And you're coming up against a team that almost lost against UST the last time out. So you can expect that they were going to tighten up the screws
Exactly.
for this game.
But the thing is, for the FEU Tamaraws, you have to move on fast because the schedule of the UAAP Season 82 is much more tight this year. They'll be having a game once again next week. So just learn from the pieces, practice their shooting once again, and hopefully come out better in their next ball game.
Adrian Wong fades away for, again, a 19-point lead, which has been the biggest lead for Ateneo here in this game. Mantua and Depra in the ball game for FEU. Ebonia, who played with 4 personal fouls. That's why he didn't play a chunk of that 4th quarter. Draws the foul from the rookie Chu, and will go to the line for free throws.
And talking about the interior points for the FEU Tamaraws, they had a difficult time attacking the defense, attacking the shaded area of Ateneo. That's only the 14th point, inside point for FEU compared to the 22 of Ateneo.
Bonus shot for Kevin Ebonia.
Ebonia fouled by the 6'8" youngster from the Blue Eagles.
Substitution for the
We'll
Tamaraws.
see out this last minute and 11. 60-44 is our score here.
And Coach Olson Rosella also makes Ebonia sit down on the bench. It's now all the youngsters for FEU giving a chance to play. As you see, Adrian Wong with 5 straight points. And still, it continues for the Ateneo Blue Eagles. Back to a 19-point lead for them.
So mopping up operations here for this Ateneo FEU game. And yes, they've given us a lot of classic games in the past. This is not going to be one of those days, as FEU just could not get themselves going. A complete 180 from their game
Versus UE.
against UE. Chu sends it out to Nieto for 3. And this will be FEU ball. Chu had a good, 9.5 points and 9.8 rebounds in his last year as a Blue Eaglet.
And he'll definitely be going after Isaac Goss. He'll be graduating this
Yep.
season. It'll be
Mama
great.
na, yeah.
Oh, it'll be great to see his development in the coming years, especially under the coach Tab Baldwin.
Right. Well, can't teach 6'8". You can't teach height, as they say, so you've got that material working for you. And that will do it for the game between FEU and Ateneo. And for Coach Olsen Rosella, it was just one of those days where they couldn't get any kind of rhythm offensively. They did do a decent job defensively in parts of this game, Bea, as they were able to stymie certain runs of Ateneo, but they just could not penetrate also the defense of Ateneo here. Hence, they could not break that 10-point barrier.
Exactly. Ateneo just really played well on both ends of the floor.
Right.
FEU, you have to be able to do it on both ends. If you defend well, you have to be able to score as well. And that was really just the case for FEU. A dismal shooting night for them. Hubert Cani with only 1 point. Wendell Comboy only 6 points. No FEU Tamarao in double digits in this ball game. They were forced to 17 turnovers. They only had 12 inside points. So Ateneo dominating in all categories in their matchup today.
PS Bankable Player of the Game, a guy we talked about at the start of the game during our